G'day, champions, or good evening. Good evening. I'm chucking up Paul Daniels and working late. I think he's live streaming at the same time. What's going on? Should go and crash Paulie's live stream. Unless he's finished already. No, he's still live streaming. How you going, Daniel? What's happening, champion? Paul's fixing MacBooks, a madman. Let's go and let's go and say good day to Paulie. Live streaming 2. Anyway. So I'm just working on the boards. Well, I'm waiting for Michelle to finish partying and I'll go pick her up from wherever she is. It's not like I don't know where she is, but you know what I mean. Not telling you, weirdos. Robbie, how you going? 2 Daniels and 1 Robbie. I'm right here, Paulie. Can't believe what Paul does. He's working on like grains of sand. It's like, let's desolder this grain of sand. And here's me soldering in big ka-chunk sockets. Yeah, working a bit late, Robbie. Like I said, I've got to go pick the missus up at some point. I don't know when that'll be. So if I go home, I'm just going to probably go to sleep. And then I won't wake up when she rings me. Because I sleep through everything. Sleep through bloody bombs going off. One time, I had to work over the weekend. So I didn't go to the pub and get on the piss with the boys. And they got the shits for me. They kept ringing me saying, come out. Oh, you'll be right. You can back up work tomorrow. You'll be right. I'm like, no, I've got work. Fuck off. I'm not coming out. Because you won't take no for an answer. And before you know it, you shout me 15 beers and I'll be completely fucking buckled in the morning and probably get booked for drunk driving. So no, I'm not coming out. So anyway, I went to bed. And this is like just after Michelle sort of moved in. She'd only been living there maybe a month. Maybe might have not even been living there full time at that point. I know, living in sin, right? So the boys brought around some firecrackers, and on the walk home from the pub, they let them off outside my bedroom window, and Shell jumped out of bed and freaking the fuck out, going, "What the fuck's going on? Someone's shooting at the house or something?" And apparently I just slept straight through it, and she had the shits at me for it. It's 4 a.m., so you must be central US, somewhere over there, AP. It's about 6 a.m. on the Chicago time. But yeah, I just wanted to try and do some late streams for the Euro trash of you legends. It's interesting. Just the analytics popped up on YouTube this morning when I logged in, and that live stream I did, was that yesterday in the morning? Normally I'll make like, I don't know, on average about 10 subscribers a day or something. But whatever I said in that stream, I got -3 subscribers that day. Must have said something a bit red hot. I think I was joking about people leaving shit comments, but that's about all the edgy material I think I had. Yeah, just trying to mix up the time zones a bit, you know. It's about 3 in the Arvo, Central European time. So everyone's either on their siesta because they're lazy Euroids. I'm just jealous. Or they're retired and they can join us, or they're working. You can't hit all the time zones at once, eh? The Late Show, yeah. Don't get me started about the Late Show. Fucking cancel culture. It was your outfit that made people mad. Yeah, probably. It was my hairdo. Whatever. Sometimes you got to not stress about it, you know? And you'll get the occasional unsubscribe because people close their account or just refresh their list. You subscribe to 1,500 channels. Eventually you can't even find one, so you just delete them all and start again. Whatever. People come and go. Do you close later on Thursdays? Nah, I don't do the late night shopping thing. I still close at 5. I don't, like, even when it's a pretty quiet day, it's really hard to 100% focus when your shop's open because you're always paranoid someone's going to walk in and ask a million questions, so you're always a bit on edge. When you close the shop, you can sort of really unwind and focus on the work. I already started work. Where are you, Robbie? You must be East Coast. US of A. I was going to go for a run, but it's too much work to do, champions. Got people hanging out for these 50-watt boards. Still got to ultrasonically clean and test them. I've still got a couple of caps on the way. Is someone upstairs still? I don't know if someone's fucking sleeping there overnight, like they've been kicked out of their house or what. There's still someone in the office upstairs. Surely they're not doing quotes at this hour. Even if you divorce me, Brad, I still won't unsub from your channel. That's nice to know, mate. He's always going to be upset people no matter what you do, eh? Or what you don't do too. Like, if you don't do something, then you'll get people unsubscribing. If you do the exact same thing that person wanted you to do and they unsubscribe because you didn't, then you get people unsubscribing because you did it. Just got to not read the stats. Liz, how you going? Haven't heard from you for a while. What's happening? Hope you're well. I've become obsessed with this song by Pucifer called The Mission. And the version is called M for Millimix. So it's like I thought it was a remix. But what the Miller means is it's actually got Mia Djokovic. You know, the chick from Fifth Element. It's actually got her singing in it. Because the vocal performance blows me away on that. And I was thinking, who is that chick singing? So I looked it up. Turns out it's Mia Jovovich or whatever the fuck her name is. I was blown away. She's awesome. She's fucking wicked voice too. I didn't know she sung, but when I looked up her Wikipedia page, had her filmography, but it also had a discography. Apparently she's a full-on muso too. Who would have thunk it? Ben, how you going, legend? Went for a trail run, Savo. Good man. I've got to get back onto that. It's too... days are too short, bro. If I do go for a run at night, well, it's got to be at night because all day, every day, during the day I'm working. But yeah, if I do go for a run, it's got to be somewhere lit so you can see where the hell you're going. You can wear the headlamp and stuff, but it's a bit of fucking around and extra bullshit you got to wear. I just prefer to go for a run on level ground when it's dark. Most of the bush tracks around here are a little bit rough. During the day, it's great. I tend to ride mountain bikes in the bush though instead of running. It's just more fun. I feel like you're four-wheel driving then. Just fine on a different schedule. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd do this. Where are you, Liz? Are you Europe or US or UK or you anywhere else? I like that song too. I think there is one YouTube video where you see Miller singing that song. Like, let's not disregard the fact that she's a fucking 10 out of 10 hottie. And she's got a voice to match. Always been attracted to female voices, you know. He was like the first chick I fell head over heels with was a jazz singer. So you always get that sort of thing. Netherlands. Oh, cool. Wicked. That's awesome. I don't know why. I assumed you were US or UK. But yeah, the main reason for doing these late streams is to hit some of the EU viewers with a bit of content. Live content. They can always watch my other stuff. Oh, Paulie's beaten me in the viewers. He's got 85, and what have I got? I've got 16. Oh. Old song. Yeah, it is a pretty old song. Female voice like Yoko Ono. No, a little bit better than that. A little bit. Rax Effects. How you going, legend? From Switzerland. West Coast Aussie. Oh, yeah, so it's just the Arvo over there. What is it? You're 4 hours behind. Only just knocked off work. Ah, cheeky watch on your lunch break. Well, that's the beauty of Bluetooth earphones, mate. You just chuck me in and listen to me talk shit while you're working. So I really like these Belton connectors. They are meant for wave soldering, which obviously we're not doing because you're watching me hand solder. But they're really sturdy. Like, there ain't no way you're cracking those solder joints, particularly with through-hole plating. But they're really sturdy, pretty compact. Well suited to just having the valves pass through the socket, pass through the chassis. Obviously, you can't really fix them to the chassis in any meaningful way. So generally what you do is you just put a bunch of standoffs nearby and fix that to the chassis, and then the valve passes through the chassis. A little bit trickier to locate, but yeah. I don't know, they're pretty cool. They're just really sturdy. They're not poking up off the board. They're hard against the board. There's no potential for vibration or anything. Pretty genius design, really, and they come with a little bit of tape on them normally, so the wave soldering doesn't foul up the contacts. And then you just peel that off after the wave soldering, but because we're not wave soldering, we just peel it off after we're done soldering. Sometimes the pins need a bit of help to align up, though. If you don't guide them in, you can fold one over by accident. What I should probably do is just sort of push them in ways. Sometimes they get a bit dislodged during transport. Yeah, I had a guy commenting that these boards were too expensive the other day. I'm like, dude, look at them, right? Look at all the parts on them. Look at the development. Look at the size of the thing. Fucking logo disappeared there. I don't know what happened there. I went and looked at all my design files, and the logo has gone off all of them. I don't know if it's the file's been corrupted or what. But I didn't notice until I already ordered these ones and populated them. I'm like, hang on. When I lined them up with the other boards, I'm like, hang on, where's the logo? You missed what it is, Ben. These are the Marshall JCM 2000 replacement boards. This is to suit the 50-watt head. You can see there's only two EL34 sockets there. Yeah, some guy was commenting that it was too expensive. For starters, no matter how many fucking times I say it, all the pricing on the web page is in Australian dollars. I put a big text up the top to say so, but people still go, shit, that's expensive. And I go, it's Australian dollars, Australian dollars, Australian dollars, Australian dollars. And not only that, it includes GST. So enter your region. It thinks you're from Australia. The stupid website's an idiot, right? It doesn't know until you punch in where you're from. So here's what the website looks like. And I still get emails from people that don't know how to buy things online. They're just like, oh, can you guide me through the process? Well, no, just fucking buy it. Just buy it. Just buy it. Or don't. I don't care. But here it is. So this is my website. Please note, big bold writing. All pricing is in Australian dollars, including 10% GST. GST not applicable outside Australia. Enter your region in the shipping calculator for accurate pricing in Australian dollars and a shipping estimate ! Times 3. But yeah, you still get people asking and saying it's expensive. It's $450 plus tax. But if you're outside Australia, you don't pay tax. So it's $450 Australian plus shipping. But it's incredibly difficult to get that through to everyone without having to answer individuals' emails over and over and over and over and over and over again to explain that. Anyway, so yeah, we've got the basically the TSL 100 one, the DSL 100 one. So that suits the DSL 100 head, and this suits the TSL 100 head and the TSL 122 combo. They never made a DSL combo for whatever reason. Doesn't suit the 60 watt though. It's a completely different design. It doesn't suit the DSL 201 or 401 because they're a completely different design too. These are the most common one, the 100 watt amps, and they're the most make the most economic sense to build as replacements. What else am I going to show you? Yeah, so people saying 450's too expensive. But then I saw another page and people were touting how good these things are. And no skin off the owner, like off the owner of the business, but no one complains about how expensive these are. So this is a FET boost that you install in your amp, in your guitar, sorry. It's got a 9-volt clip. So that's got one pot, switch pot, full pot, a tiny circuit board, and what looks like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 components, and that's it. Tack soldered onto the pot, and that is 180 Australian dollars. So, you know, fuck, I think my board's a bit better value than that, isn't it? Like I say, no hard feelings against that bloke, but so hang on, that includes your assembly. Yeah, it's assembled and tested, it's ready to go. But yeah. So you solder them into place with those 3 pins. The 3 pins are the locating ones, and then all the others are the actual valve socket pins. So they've got no connection to anything. You could assign a net to them, but then you've got to assign a net to every footprint. It's a pain in the ass, so I just left them unconnected. And it gives you a little bit more isolation to the surrounding pins. So I start off by soldering them and just holding the socket against the board. Honestly, BOFA, what the fuck are you there for if you're just gonna allow the smoke up to my face anyway? It's amazing how many little microcurrents of the air are floating around in your workshop. Fuck them, Brad. That's great value. Oh, that's what I was saying. Considering Marshall almost charged the same amount for a board that still had fucking problems, like even the replacements failed. Probably part of the reason they stopped making them. Issue 20, I think was okay-ish. The layout still wasn't brilliant. But all the way up to issue 10. Do you ever leave the shop? Not really. No, today's a special case because Michelle's partying in the city. It's a netball awards night. So I'm just waiting to pick her up. Not from the city, her mate's driving back here. How come it is blowing past the BOFA straight to my fucking face? It needs to be like an inch away from your work area or it does nothing. This is what happens during dry July nights. That's why I drink. Well, I am designated driver tonight, I guess, if that's what you mean, yeah. But if I go home, I'm gonna start watching, I don't know, YouTube or something, and then I'll fall asleep. And I'll totally sleep through a phone call if I do that, so I won't be able to give her a lift. She'll end up getting an Uber, and then she'll be upset. Working on a Mesa Caliber 22. One of them just came in today, a Studio 22 as well. The guy drove down from Newcastle. He might have been here for another reason, but yeah, it's from Newcastle. Yeah, they're not too bad. This one actually looks like one of the cleanest examples I've ever seen, to be honest. Very little heat damage inside. You know, normally the board's completely cooked. So that'll be a good one to get into. I'm going to lift that temp up a bit so I can work a bit quicker. The solder's putting up a bit of a fight as I feed it into the joint. Can drop the desoldering temp down so I save the tip. The IntelliHeat system shuts the iron off during periods of inactivity, but the sensor temp isn't that smart. This one doesn't even have an automatic shut off. It's just a dumb station. So you got to ride it like the wind. Get you a bit more detail, maybe. There you go. So I ran out of valve sockets for some reason. Must have calculated it wrong. These are the only boards I use these sockets for. The Fender ones have the top mounted ones. What if you use small screws on those 3 pins instead of solder? No. They don't have screw holes. You'll damage the socket trying to use them and drill them and shit. Anyway, there's no need. This is so fucking sturdy. It is literally the strongest valve socket known to man. You could hit it with a fucking hammer and it wouldn't come off, so. Trying to reinvent the wheel on that one. Chris, how you going? How do you decide what temp to solder at? It's a bit like deciding what temp to grill your bloody burger at. You get a feel for it and the way it's reacting, the way it feels as you feed the solder in. A little bit like when you're cooking, you get a vibe for how vigorous the sizzling and stuff is. You sort of, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a sixth sense kind of deal. But yeah, when it's too cold, you just notice that the tip of the solder is pushing against the tip of the soldering iron, and you can actually feel resistance there. And when you heat it up too much, the flux turns to fucking coal too quickly, burns off too quick. You sort of want it to the point with lead-free where you can just feel the resistance as you're feeding the solder in, like it's taking a fraction of a second to melt as you're feeding it in, but not actually slowing you down, you know? So yeah, it doesn't really matter what the soldering station says, because it's not a calibrated station, but I've got a pretty good feel for it at this point. It's a little bit like playing with heavy gauge strings when it's cold. You just, everything's sort of fighting you a little bit. You just feel it. Bamboo, how you going, legend? Of course, then there's other factors like, is it flowing through to the other side? Are you working on a ground plane? Are you working on pots? That kind of thing. Is it through hole plated? Do you have to go in and out quick because it's a delicate board or it's a delicate component? This one's completely fucked. Perfect example of a complete fuck with abysmal design skills beyond poor. I feel your pain, Terry. You want to shoot me some photos so we can commiserate over it? Just email them to me, mate. Bamboo, you have to rewind, buddy. I've already told people twice now. It's just the Marshall replacement boards that I'm building. This is the 50-watt DSL versions. I was waiting on some valve sockets and they turned up today, so I'm popping them in. That way all I'll have to do is install the one missing cap, which I ran out of C48, and then they're ready to go into the ultrasonic. After visual checks, of course. And first I'll probably silicon them after the ultrasonic. But yeah, got to get the 50-watt boards out because everyone's waiting on them. Dunny, how you going, legend? Late night in the shop, bloody oath. Bit like one of your streams. You insomniac, you. When I'm zoomed in, I've got to watch my framing. If you guys like metal, go and follow Dun's channel. It's the latest comment down there. He's a bloody rip snorter guitarist. He's a bloody rip snorter. He's a rip starter. Haven't heard that one for a while, have you? A rip start. Rip. Inside joke. Danny will get it. What are you talking about? He says. What are you talking about? It's like you're speaking French to me right now. Have the sleep patterns of a meth head. I've got to ask, what's the red number display behind me? That's the just the decibel meter. I'll just chuck it in the background for a bit of visual interest. That's below my fuck off sign, which you probably can't see without me zooming in. That's 5 years ago today that I bought that. It arrived from China. There you go. I'm trying something new with a bit of blue light over here. I got my these little chooches. A little bit of a color infill. Bit of vibe. Since I turned off the shop lights so I don't attract junkies. Just joking. See me planes. It's probably junkies here, but they don't cause any dramas. Except stealing my bloody push bike when I moved in. Alex, how you going, legend? Can't you sleep either? What's going on, Alex? Can I send a vintage Gibbs reverb tank for you to look at? No. Throw it in the bin, buy a new one. No one repairs reverb tanks, or I don't anyway. Just replace it. Bastards. Who's the bastard? Nah, Techie. I wonder if Michelle's going to be drunk when I pick her up. She's funny when she's drunk. Her voice goes up like 3 octaves. She gets all amorous, but then you get her in the door, and as soon as she touches the bed, she's fast asleep. Okay. Hey, £5. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Brad. Back to the grind for me. See you the next one. Will do, mate. You know, you can always watch back, but I'll probably see you Saturday, I reckon. Maybe Sunday too. We'll see what happens. Oh, the bike thieves. Yeah, bastards, yeah. I think there was only one of them. I'll just back that temp down a little bit. We'll sit around 325 on the gauge. I don't know exactly what it is temp-wise. I could have a look, I guess. Where's the Fluke meter? What's this go up to? We're about to find out. What's something that's a good insulator? I don't know. Don't know what I got that would be a good thermal insulator. Fluke 179, there you are. How about I just use the tweezers? Put the thermocouple in. On the Celsius. This is going to be a two-handed operation, I think. Get that there. Get that there. $235, $238, $245. Still rising. $280. Hang on. Get a bit of better grip on it. Ah. Is it true there is a vortex between Katoomba and Newtown? Vortex? What do you mean? I can't get a good contact on there. I don't think it liked that very much, the thermocouple. Captain. Oh, yeah, that will be a good one. I've got some Captain tape over there, actually. Lost interest. All I know is it feels right. I don't know that an infrared camera would work on such a small item. It's like trying to pick out the temperature of a single pebble in a beach. This has been the longest period of not accepting new work for me. Are you still, are you having stuff going on, Alex? Don't say anything if you don't want to, but... Are you alright, mate? I know you were having some stuff. I thought you were on the mend. Is that a person out the front? Oh, hearing things. There is a Domino's across the road. Sometimes people park in our parking lot if the gate's not been shut, while they wait for their pizza. It's a bit annoying if you want to lock up and leave and someone's car's stuck there. Yeah, still got a bar about 75% healthy now. Oh shit! I thought you were clear on the mend. I would have reached out and said g'day if when you're still a bit crook. Is there anything I can send you, mate? You want some whiskey or something? I can't drink it right now. So what are we talking about? Vortex between Katoomba and Newtown. Oh, you mean the two towns are connected because they're so similar? Is that what you mean, Timothy West? I can see your point of view there. And then they've got a black hole that goes all the way to Nimbin, or at least Byron Bay. So Byron Bay is like Newtown and all right. So you got Byron Bay, and then you've got Newtown. So Byron Bay's got heaps of money. Newtown's got a bit of money, but Katoomba's like the other two, but they have no money. So, so it's just basically you're like, okay, I'm an arty hippie. How much money do I have? That determines which one of those three that you move to. One leaves to enter the other. The Cone Lord connections. Yeah. You know what? Actually, because I was not lamenting, but I was commenting earlier in this stream that the stream the other morning actually lost me 3 subscribers for some reason. I don't know why. But then thinking back, I was taking the piss out of conspiracy theorists and hippies that do the pseudo health thing, pseudo science. So that's probably who I lost. No big loss there. They can go and hang out with fucking David Avocado or whatever that fuckwit's name is. Wolf, something Wolf. I don't know. Pete Evans. Pete Evans. Isn't he, oh yeah, he's that pseudo health cockhead, isn't he? Or is it, which one's the vet? Bondi vet? Because that guy's cool. I keep getting that guy mixed up with that guy. They're nothing like each other, but somehow you just, sometimes, it happens with bands too, you just associate two completely unrelated actors to each other. And they might not have even met each other, but for some reason you get the two mixed up. You probably said bad words. Yeah, probably said a lot of bad words. Oh, poor little puritanical fucks. And their soft as shite countenance. Epstein list. I don't think I mentioned the Epstein list in that one. Stop it, Dan. Stop it. I'm gonna lose all my subscribers once they find out I'm a raging lefty. Fuck, there's still someone upstairs. I wonder what's going on. Because they normally knock off. They're builders, right? So they knock off at like 3:30. Yeah, that's right. Mycosis. We don't need theories anymore. It's just straight up out in the open, isn't it? What a fucking world, eh? It's alright, Terry. Take your time, mate. It's good to have you here, but I don't want to, don't feel like you got to put silly live streamer over anything else. Glass Barbie. Nah, they're very good boys upstairs. They're very well behaved. Not like any tradies I've worked with before. You're a raging softy. I don't think there's such a thing. I've got a raging soft on. Get baked and go down the rabbit hole, yeah. Oh, actually, thinking back, that's what triggered me. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, eh? Because I was talking about the people that think that like the pyramids are like a obelisk that's under the ground, that's like billions of years old and that was built by aliens and shit. That's probably how I lost them. I remember now. Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some. Oh, that's the other thing I've got to replace, C16. Remind me later on, champions. That's the 2.2 nanofarad Weemer. Ford Ranger. I found that when you got a shop right and you're dealing with like 10 customers, 20 customers a day, when people are dropping shit off, you forget who's who and you can't remember their face. So when they pick it up, they go, "Oh yeah, I'm just here to pick up the guitar," and they think you're gonna remember them. And I really try to, because I feel like a self-absorbed wanker if I don't remember the customers. But it's so hard to remember them, man. I don't know if I'm like face blind or what, but so many of them I just can't remember. Sometimes there's just something about their face and it sticks in your head. Not that they're like ugly or nothing, but just something about the person, the character or the charisma sticks in your head for some reason, and you remember their name straight away. But sometimes it takes me like 3 or 4 goes. So what I've had to start writing is something funny about them on the sticker of the guitar or the amp. So like instead of writing like Randall something, I'll write like Randy the Ranger, or try not to be derogatory. Or if they speak real loud, might write like Michael, and then in brackets after that, loud Michael. So just anything I can to trigger my memory. Normally after that I'm good. I remember when I started high school, had my new English teacher. Fuck, what was his name? Taylor, Don Taylor. Great teacher, but fucking hated the students until they showed that they actually had a passion for literature. So if I knew that, I would have got more into it. He could have just told me. So if he just came up to me and said, "I won't respect you until you respect literature, so tell me what gets you excited and what makes you interested," I would have fucking told him, and we probably would have been best mates from day one. But we got off on the wrong foot. So the first day, we're like freaked out kids. First day of high school, 1997. And he goes, "If I don't remember your name," speaking to the whole class of about, I don't know, 25 people or something. "If I don't remember your name by the end of the lesson, you got detention. You don't get lunch." I'm like, fuck. So everyone's trying to think of ways to remind him of our name. So I just kept putting my hand up every, like, just waited till there was a gap in the conversation or whatever and put my hand up like I had a question. And I just said, "My name's Brad." He goes, "Righto, Brad." Then like I'd wait 15 minutes, put my hand up again, and I'd try to like look like I had a really important question. I'll go, "Yeah, my name's Brad." He's like, "Oh, okay." I didn't get detention that day, so it worked. But it was funny. He'd treat all the kids with contempt. As soon as I completed junior high, so I went to year 11, it was like a switch flicked in his head, and all of a sudden he treated us like peers and chatted and joked around with us as if we were like another teacher more than a student. And I was blown away. I'm like, fuck, is this all it takes to get that bloke's respect? Just stick through to senior high. And yeah, it sort of became a really good teacher after that. And he was one of the best English teachers, well, yeah, I'd ever heard about. It's great. I did call him Stinky Taylor though, so I think he had an allergy to deodorant, so he could have done something, but he chose not to. Yeah, I wonder how he's going. I mean, he must have been in his early 40s, so he'd still be kicking around. It's funny, he was like the hippie English teacher, and his brother was the nerdy science teacher. They were both teaching at the same school. They were both pretty cool. The science teacher was actually a more chilled out one, even though he's a nerd with the socks pulled up and everything. Such a weird thing, the teacher aesthetic back then in the 90s, eh? Like, the geography teachers had a certain look, sort of dagginess, like a cardigan, and all the men had socks pulled up around their calves. I don't know what the fuck that was all about, because they weren't that old. They were like in their 40s. Don't know. It was weird. Sort of like these days, you walk around and older men's fashion, let's call it. It's like they all get the memo. Okay, from now on, you've got to wear a polo shirt under a cardigan for the rest of your life. And they just do it. It's like someone sends out a memo. This is your uniform. R.M. Williams jacket with a collared shirt underneath with check pattern. They're like, roger that. They just wear that until they die. Just about everyone I've met that has taken DMT since they met aliens. Bet they did. I've heard with the DMT thing, and I'll probably get demonetized, but you just feel that there's a presence, not necessarily aliens, but like religious people probably see that as God. conspiracy people probably see that as aliens. Non-alien believing atheists probably just see it as like human spirituality, or maybe like nature manifesting itself as a spiritual being. Don't know. Wear what your wife buys. Maybe that's it. Their wife is just like, I don't find you attractive anymore. You're just going to wear whatever's cheap. Not sure. I'd really like to know what causes it. But like most things in life, when I was a kid, I was thinking, why do adults do that? That's fucked. And then you get older and you're like, oh, yeah, everyone kind of does do that, eh? And you're watching your friends start to do it. And I'm not talking about clothes, just things in general. Drug-induced schizophrenia, yeah. At least they needed drugs to do it. Some people, it's all they need is breakfast to do that. Breakfast cooked on the glass barbie with the tripper snipper. Well, went on down to Browntown. Hey. There's lots of boomers on my channel. Don't get them offside. Boomers keep this channel afloat, brother. Oh, we're halfway through. We've got 8 boards to do. We're halfway there. Long socks and shorts are a crime against humanity. Yeah, that's what they all wore. They'd wear like knee-length shorts, usually cargo shorts. They'd wear like, I don't know, like no, not Doc Martens, R.M. Williams shoes or boots. And then they wear socks pulled up around just below their knee. It was really strange. Oh, helps if you put the sockets in before you try and solder them, eh? This is why I do dumb shit when I'm on video, like putting sockets in instead of analysing issues. So that Marshall valve state from yesterday, I think I pinned the problem down to some solder joints that looked fine, but I think there was a micro crack in the pad right next to where the pad was, because there was a big blob of solder there. And when you've got cracked solder joints and you just reinforce the pad by just blobbing solder on top, what happens is the movement doesn't stop. It just, now the whole pad moves and it cracks the pad right near where the track exits the pad. But don't know, I'm still not 100% confident. It's got the world's dumbest thermal management. It's really silly. They've put caps right up against 5-watt diodes and Zenas and hot 5-watt resistors. One of the caps, I'll put 125 rated caps in there, but it's the cap itself gets that hot from basically touching a 5-watt Zena resistor and a Zena diode in a Zena regulation circuit, that the cap's almost too hot to touch. Okay, I look really red on my phone camera, but I look really normal on the computer screen. So what am I trying to say? Phone screen. 4:56 a.m. Los Angeles. Cleary and loving guitar amps. It's a good way to be. Breakfast at the Barbie Museum. The glass Barbie. It's Suppose I should see. Yeah, ties with short sleeves. Yeah, they did that too. I don't know. Yeah. I wonder if the Board of Education told them you got to wear this. Better see if my lovely wife has sent me a message yet. Hang on. Uh-oh. Unread message. No, it's not her. Oh, my Canadian friend's out of bed. It is just coming up to 10 o'clock here. PM. I figure if Paul Daniels is manly enough to stream, so am I. Of course, he's a night owl, so he always streams at night. I'm a morning person normally. Just can't get the tradie out of my blood. You've got to be on the North Shore at fucking 6 a.m. long socks, shorts, also a piece of shit. Oh, okay, okay there. You started school in 88. Holy shit. Probably started, I would have been wiping my own ass by then, I think. When do you start wiping your own ass? 4 years, I guess? 3 years? I don't know. Born in 84 anyway. I saw a baby photo of me the other day, and the first thought was, oh, fuck. Metallica would have been working on fucking Ride the Lightning when I was in that photo. Watching from airport lobby. Nice. Where are you off the way to, Lion Circle? Is it work or pleasure? Or both? What airport are you in? I'll hack into the mainframe and get them to delay your flight so you can watch my live stream. I can't get working gigs out of my blood. I'm a complete night owl. Well, that's a lot more rock and roll than being a morning person, so I'd take that. Got to say, this not drinking actually makes the nights a bit more useful. I'd normally go home, have a beer, and sit and watch YouTube, relax. But now I feel guilty for relaxing when I'm not drinking. It's probably bad, actually. Mojo workshop in North Carolina. All right. Is that where you're on the way to? Do you work for Mojo Tone? Oh, is it a Mojo Tone like when you say a workshop, like a lesson, like a course, a build an amp course or something? Pickup winding. Do you work for them, or are you doing a course on pickup winding? Probably, is that the minibar? Can't answer. We had, when we went to Japan, feels like yesterday I was sitting there waiting for the plane. Shell got us like an upgrade to the Qantas lounge. So, yeah, all the free pour whiskey that you pour yourself a beer. Fucking dangerous, those things. It was kind of good though, because we left at like, what time was it? We left in the morning, so here's me drinking a beer in the morning. And it was like a day's work, so I think it was like 9 hours. And then we landed in Tokyo that night, and it was awesome. Just doing the course, get the winder afterwards too. Yeah, cool. I think that's the one I've got, the red one. with the Gaussometer on the top. I was going to build one, and I started working on a design and a couple of designs, and I thought, do I want to start building pickup winders like as an occupation, or do I just want to fucking be able to repair a pickup every now and then? I decided the latter, so I just bought it, gave up the project. But yeah, I was going to do like winding profiles, like scatter profiles, and all of that. Like use a servo motor to control the wire feed as the thing's spinning, automate the whole process. But yeah, the red one, sweet. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know how people pick up wind all day though. Fucking one pickup, and I'm like, fuck this. You got to be so attentive, and you start like getting tunnel vision because you're staring so hard to see where the copper's going. It's not a fun job, eh? But some people just wind pickups all day and they love it. I don't know how you could. You'd end up with so many physical problems. I swear there's a new pickup manufacturer in Australia every fucking week, eh? You see some Instagram post, blah, blah, blah pickups, blah, blah pickups, and they've got a fancy fucking, well, these days, AI logo and AI bullshit promo videos and stuff. All these fucking useless startup companies. And you buy one of the pickups, and the most common issue with the supposed boutique pickup winders around here that have just like flashes in the pan, they always use too strong magnets. The magnets always pull on the strings like crazy. And you end up with, you know, the artificial harmonics and shit, or you'll do like a fret hone to a guitar because the frets are all over the place, and then you finish the fret hone and you still got buzzing, but all the way up the neck on every string, even though all the measurements are right. And then you wind the pickup right down, all the buzzing goes away because the pickups are literally, the magnets are that strong that they're pulling the strings towards the fretboard. And like, what do you say to the customer? Because they've been sold this pickup that's supposedly like, you know, of course the manufacturer said it, so the words are about as meaningful as being written in water, but you know, the supposed cutting edge pickups, you know, they're so high quality and boutique and amazing and special and wound by Tibetan virgins on the top of a hill, snow covered fucking monastery. But the truth is that they're barely usable. There's just so many of these startups, and they'll be around for a year or two maybe, and then they'll evaporate. We might get one or two good reviews that'll carry them on for a bit from some semi-famous guitarist that they gave free pickups to. And that'll sustain them for a bit, and then eventually they'll just fizzle out, and then another one will rise up in their place. Hi Brad, so I got my first amp to work on. Hey, cool. Restoring it to sell for a friend of a friend. It's a 1965 Bassman. Fuck yeah. Good score, Admiral. Restoring to sell for a friend. Wouldn't you hang on to that one? Oh, you mainly play synth, don't you? Do you play guitar? Yeah, 65 Bassman. I'd be fucking hanging on to that, dude. I'll be making an offer. It's one of the most sought after amps out there, particularly by studios. Yeah, it's like I'm starting with the source. Yep. Yeah, 65 is a good year for them too. You know what to do. You've seen all the videos. But yeah, reach out with a couple of photos if you want. It's always good to see examples like that. I think I need to, I had a chat with Lyle about camera stuff today, and now here I am on auto ISO. Fucking shameful. I think we want to go at 100, 800 ISO. That's probably more realistic, actually. That's what I'm actually looking at. Might just open up the aperture a little. Ugh. Purchased the Weber kit 6V30 and it kicks. Nice. Good stuff. Heard some of the Weber kits documentation was a bit hit and miss. How was it on your one, Chris? Have they picked up their game? Overall quality, it's his, not mine, though it'll be part mine after I fix it up. He's selling it and I can't afford it or really use it. I don't dig on guitar currently. I live in in an apartment. Fair enough. It'll be hard enough to get away with testing it. Yeah, you just got to time it when everyone's out. Everyone's off doing shit. I need to change my white balance a bit. Gaz Cow. Yeah, it is a late one. As I said to the guys before you got here, Michelle's got a netball awards night, so I'm just waiting to pick her up. And if I go home, I'll fall asleep, so I may as well stay here. That reminds me, I better check she hasn't been trying to message me again. Nah. Not a care in the world. Not even trying to message me. Guess I'll just have to work till midnight. Gotta get going, not feeling too well right now, but I'll catch you later, Brad and gang. Yeah, take it easy, Alex, and if you're feeling up to it, I'll give you a shout. On the weekend, I'll give you a ring. I don't want to bother you, though, if you're not feeling good or if you're busy. So I'll shoot you a message first. You know, people these days, champions, you can't just ring people anymore. You got to message them first, especially Gen Z and beyond. They get a bit scared. I kind of get it. Like, I really disliked phone calls as I got towards my 30s and 40s, because pretty much every time I got a phone call, it was because someone wanted to complain about something, or something they wanted me to do something for them, or wanted to borrow something, or told me I would fuck something up, or so you form this like anxiety with phone calls, because I had some really abusive bosses and workplaces I worked at, and sort of triggers like a fight or flight reaction when whenever your phone rings. Some architect wants you to come in on the weekend when you already have other plans or something like that. One thing you could do, Admiral, is just get a rehearsal studio, bro. Make all the fucking noise you want there. There might be one that offers like a... like the hotels, you know, like an hourly rate for you to make love to your amp in. Morning, Andy. How you going, legend? Admiral, I found people send compliments privately by email, but complain in public forums. Yeah, they like to make a big splash, don't they? When really, if they just emailed you, you could probably just say, champion, just move that switch into the other position there for me. Tell me what happens. Well, the problem goes away. That's right. It does, doesn't it? Pretty much like probably about 60% of the complaints and amps that come back are just from like a user misunderstanding or not having used the amp before, or moving from a modeler to a real amp and they don't know what real amps sound like, and you explain it to them or just gently show them the solution, and they're usually very apologetic. It's pretty rare that something comes back with a genuine problem. It's usually like that Laney that I basically rebuilt and put pretty much a 2204 in, hot rodded 2204. That's come back, but it's not because he was very like, no, it's nothing you did. He doesn't have a back cover on it, and it was supposed to be a studio amp, but it sounded so good that he took it out live. And when he was loading it in, it like shifted on top of the pile of gear he had, and he went to catch it, and his hand went straight through the EL34 and sliced his hand up, got it with glass in his hand. So I said, how about we put a back grill on it, eh? Or at least a Messer style channel across the rear just to protect the valves. He said, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I've got a Randall 400 watt full stack. Neighbours love it so much they put a brick through my window to hear it better. Ever the optimist. I love it. I used to get a lot of advertising calls like, we can help you with your student loans, and the thing is that I don't have any student loans. Never did. Yeah, funny that. Yep, I already lost a job telling the fellow to try swapping his tubes around, sorry. Happy to do that though. Good advice is free. Yeah, that's right. If you can help him out with stuff like that. A lot of the time it's things like just having stuff plugged in the wrong order in effects loops and stuff. A lot of guys just don't realize things like you should probably have an isolated power supply for your pedals. Real complex amps that have like different output power modes and stuff that can sometimes confuse some guys that don't know like what impedances are what, and the digital stuff where there's routing. A lot of modeling pedals and digital mixing consoles and stuff come in, and it's sometimes just everything's routed wrong, like they bought it off someone and they had like custom routing. Oops, a security company. Wondering why I haven't locked up. This 1 second, champions. Hello, Brad speaking. Yes, mate. Yeah, I'm still at the shop. I'm just waiting to pick the missus up tonight, so I'm working late, so all good. I don't know exactly. I'd say I'll be out of here by midnight though, so I'll set the alarm before that though. Yep. All good, thanks, mate. Thanks for the call. See ya. That's a good security company doing their job. He just had a dead preamp tube and was wondering why he lost the channel. Yeah. Some guys are cool with that. Some guys just don't want to know anything about it. Just like even the change valve, I'll just change it out for him if that's as simple as it is. Bad preamp valve, something like that. I'll just charge them for the valve and don't do any labor on top. Some guys just like, I don't want to, no, I'm not even touching it, mate. You do it. I'm like, okay. Others are like, oh yeah. I'd say just maybe try this next time, but just make sure it's the same type. And they might buy a spare one just to carry around in their bag with them. Is Neil Amps in AU still happening? Neil Amps? No, never heard of them. Is that a brand? Is that a small brand, or like, you know, one guy, one man show, or is it hi-fi or guitar? There's a lot of weird hi-fi brands, and they sell like 1 amp a year, but they charge like 50 grand for it. Just got to convince one person. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, never heard of them. Certainly never seen one of their amps. One guy. Neil Amps. Neil Amps, Australia. Proprietary Limited. Look out. Oh, my website. We've got some second-hand ones on Found Sound. We've got a post from 2008 on Australian Gearheads. Shut up, BOFA. Desk share. Is that packing foam? What? What? Pure vacuum, pure tone. 4-way switch. What is the 4-way switch? Oh, okay. Hang on, is this Neil Amplifiers? No. Andrew at amplifiers.com.au. He's got his webpage is amplifiers.com.au. Electric Triode. Well, what company is it? Copyright Electric Triode, Neil Valve Amplifiers AVN. It's got an AVN, so it's legit. Custom designs. Okay. There's some strange front panel designs. Acoustic combo. That's more of a traditional look. And he's also got like the Fender, what do they call it? The dual showman look. British classic JTM 45, AC 15. Has it got any gut shots? Nah. Just a very low res. Can't say much. My website's not a lot better. Neil Amplifiers. Cannabis Rex. It's got CD grade ply. You can see on the baffle there. It says structural CD. Australian made, so that's like construction grade pine ply. It's going to be very heavy for what it is. Possibly not void free. Not that matters for an amp, but for a guitar amp. Oh, you know, people go on about every tiny little thing, but yeah, birch ply is my preferred one, but not to disparage his builds. They look cool. I don't know what's going on with this one though. Oh, why did I just click that? It's not going to take me to anything. I don't know what this 4-way switch is. So he's got a feature on his amps, on some amps. 2 amp models with different gain structures per amp. Don't stack. Okay, so he's got some recording samples of this switch, but what amp is the switch included on? It sounds like a product, but it sounds like a feature that you can opt into with the products. But is it only for some products, or is it all products? Oh, document. One channel preamp, second preamp channel. Wait, what? 2012 price guide. So he's got like a spreadsheet, and you option up your amp. This is a very complex way of designing an amp. I'd be like, send me what you want, and I'll give you a quote. one's obviously very out of date, 2012. Yeah, not sure what to make of all of that. Oh, here we go, some gut shots. Postage stamp photos. Golden tone, nice. Yeah, I don't know, never heard of him. Just means maybe he's not as terminally online as the rest of us. I haven't seen any of the amps floating around. It'd be cool to see, but yeah, hope he's still going and making stuff. Introduction to Neil amps. Okay, so this must be when he started out. Maybe he's already around for a while. Yeah, I introduced myself. Adelaide. Okay, that's probably part of the reason I haven't seen his amps, because he's in Adelaide. Welcome, welcome, etc., etc. Yeah, interesting. Anyway. Pastor, how you going? I was initially interested in his VT40 clone head. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of info to glean, like the actual internal construction on his website, but you might be able to find more info somewhere else. Back handle switch. Yeah, it might be. It's doing something to the tone stack. I don't know what exactly. Also getting the low theory tools I need to do fret work. Could already do setups, of course, electronics work. But now I can level and crown frets too. Oh, you went ahead and bought a VT40. VT40. So that's the MPEG, yeah? Yeah, everyone uses axial cap still, Seth. I've got no idea why. Those photos are from over 10 years ago, though, so remember that. A mate just bought a Bad Cat Lynx. What's your opinion on the construction? So there's two different types. There's the ones that are made were this, you know, Samson built or whatever his name was, and there's the more modern ones. Some of them I think are made in China. I think the jury's out on them. I don't think we've seen many. We don't have much of a sample size yet to know what they're like. The one Bad Cat Lynx that I've had in was the old school type. The old looked like a matchless inside, point to point. It had tag construction, and the biggest problem was the caps they used exploded. I think there was some stuff pretty close to voltage ratings, which I had to upgrade, and that's probably why the caps exploded. But they're also shitty caps. So there's ones with two bungs, two rubber ends, like the ARS. There's a few different brands that did it, and they all fail. I think there might have been one manufacturer that made them, and they all failed, and people were rebadging that cap. So it sullied a few brands due to one manufacturer's shortcomings. But yeah, it was a nice sounding amp, surprisingly high gain, but like very high gain. Like you could use it quite comfortably for extreme metal, even though it looked like a traditional matchless. The other issue with it was the valves were running at like 160% dissipation, so it was burning through valves pretty quickly, which in this day and age people don't like. Max Powers, how you going, legend? Anyone else tired? I saw someone say, yeah. Who else needs sleep? Seth, you're in the USA. You should have already had sleep. Nocturnal night owl weirdo. Zecon was the brand of caps I couldn't remember. 20 years ago, they weren't too bad. Last check, the company is still incorporated, but they only have 4 employees and no capacitors. Yeah, wow. It did sleep twice. What? I don't need sleep yet. I better get the wife home first. Wherever she is. It's a Velco. Picking up an old K703 today for 150. Nice. Beat up scruffy like me. I don't know much about them, eh? We don't see a lot of them over here. It's a Velco. So that Velco was the Supro brand, was it? Like I say, we don't get many out here. If we do, they're probably grey imports from the States anyway. Just need to guide those pins in a bit. This one's putting up a bit of a fight. Clickety clack. Don't smoke crack. Do you want me to undo the noise cancellation so you can fall asleep to the nice soft noise of the BOFA? A bit of a dry solder joint there. I've got to go over and inspect them all. Yes, Velco made the old original Supros Airlines Gretsch amps. They've got an expensive. Jimmy Page used one on Stairway. Yeah, he used it on the Solo, didn't he? It was like reportedly the Solo from Layla was done on a Tweed Champ. Don't know, might be wrong there. Fuck, I'm seeing all the AI bullshit ramp up, eh? Someone had a photo of like Eric Clapton in tears on stage after his gig, but it was a typical like overblown AI crying memes that are going everywhere, where AI doesn't know how people look when they cry, so their face is all fucking distorted like a cartoon. All the fuckwits are putting up memes showing people crying, and their face looks so fucked up. It looks like a cartoon. Pretty much, Facebook's pretty much useless now. I might just delete my guitar page over there because it's just it's just mining info and AI slop now. There's just nothing on the platform worth anything except for in private groups. Larry Carlton used Tweed on Kid Charlemagne, not a Dumble. AI needs to stick to making kids bedtime stories, and that's it. Ugh, that's even worse. That's creepy as fuck. Facebook's a bunch of AIs circle jerking each other, yeah. AI is never going to be able to replicate this, eh? The randomness of my channel. It wouldn't get all the references anyway. I used to run a couple of large groups on Facebook, but I noped out a couple of years ago. Yeah, I admin a few, but they're private and very, very tightly vetted. Like we'll have like 4 or 5 admins for one group, in one for each time zone. So if anything fucked happens on there, we can jump on it straight away. And we don't let anyone in. is a quiz, and if you don't answer satisfactorily, we just delete you and block you. Because it's so easy to just let bots and just bots in, basically. And the bots are still stupid. Too stupid to answer the questions, but either that or you're stupider than a bot, in which case you probably don't want you there anyway. Like a job. Yeah, 14K on topic of flight sims. That's a lot to manage, man. I know a couple of people that use flight sims, and some of those blokes are pretty hard to manage. Day-to-day life. There was a couple of amp groups on Facebook that I left because just no one was modding them. There was like 3 or 4 admins, and people were just attacking each other, and there was no moderation. I'm like, this is fucked. It's just people just being like schizophrenic fucking psychosis people. Like, no, don't need this. You try and help someone, and then you get basically fucking bullied into just leaving the page. Okay, well, you can fucking sit there and try and figure out your problem between 12 blokes that don't know what they're talking about then. Bye. If you try to help someone, then if you dared to say, oh, maybe try this, then they fucking message you directly, and they demand that you tell them exactly how to fix it for free and give you time for free now. Like, you don't poke your head up because now that person's like got a target on you, and they won't leave you alone until their fucking problem solved. Goodbye. In the words of Bricktop, if I throw a dog a bone, I don't want to know if it tastes any good. The internet was a cool place before everyone got on it. Yeah, I was there to see the birth of it, man. The old Usenet or whatever it was, the news groups. You access them in Outlook. Until they were really cool to start off with, and then everyone realised that you could share porn on them, and they got ruined as well. Been there, done that, Broco, hire a tech. I mean, I give enough information out on the videos, and people find a video and then they email me wanting me to re-explain everything that was in the video. It's like, did you watch a video? Like, I said all this stuff in there. Maybe watch it again. Maybe take notes. And that's not live streams. That's like the edited videos, man. No one goes back and watches the live streams. I'll see the analytics. There'll be like initial burst of like maybe 1,000 views over a week or so after. I can usually get like 500 when I'm like in the hour or two after I've finished streaming. But then it just stays there. Maybe after the first week it might go up to 1,000. And then it just stays there forever. No one ever watches it again. But the edited videos, they keep recurring views. That for my shitty little channel anyway, that StewMac assessment video went pretty good. It was like 13, 14 hour views or something, I think. That's pretty good for my little back alley. Yeah, Seth, I removed all my videos up to a certain point. So if you look back in my live streams, they only go back about 3 years. Because about 3 years ago, I just got sick of people questioning and second guessing everything I said in it. Because it was very casual back then. It was just, usually it was only a couple of mates and we kind of all knew each other. And if it was on a public thing, could have just made them private. I think I didn't know how to use that tool at that point, but I think I had the shits at life in general, so I just deleted the fucking things. I was almost going to shut the channel down at that point. Live streams a bit more like news. They don't age well, but if you annotated and indexed them after with all the topics you cover, and then might help people find them. Yeah, but that's like a job in itself. Like you'd have to sit there for the whole length of the video watching back the stupid shit that I said. Yeah, it's more like if you hear, it's like a subscription to a magazine and you throw it in a bin after. It's like it's like a news service. Chat about current affairs and off you go. You have to relive your live stream to take notes. Yeah, fuck that. All for like 2 or 3 views. Nah, just move on to the next one. Most people just listen to them in the background anyway. A lot of other techs will listen to it while they're working away. I do the same thing with other techs. Not a lot of techs do live streams of actual work though. Most of them do the Q&A thing or the updates or usually the Q&A. Yeah, video production. Yeah, you got to watch it again and again and again. Like you'll produce eight hours of video to get a half-hour finished product, if that. It does get tedious, but sometimes I really enjoy it. Like it's like a little zen job. Other times it really shits me up the wall. So when it shits me up the wall these days, I just don't do it. So you just don't see any videos for a bit it's usually when I'm really busy, when I've got a bit of room to move and room to breathe. I really enjoy coming up with, concepts for videos and doing the lighting thing and whatever. I've got to get more across the camera settings and stuff though. After having a chat with Lyle this morning about his FX30, it's made it abundantly clear how little I know about all the post-processing and color grading and all of that. Man, he is another level now. I used to give him shit for using his mobile phone. Now he's overtaken me fucking several times over. He's producing the best looking videos about amplifiers. I guess like you've got the review channels, but it's the best tech channel in terms of video quality. In terms of everything really, but he's inspired me. I've got to bite the bullet and just figure out DaVinci because it's so much better than Adobe Premiere. I'd like to give my Sloan amplifier friend a shout out in Ohio. There you go. I just sent a bullet to Ohio. Tektronix are the home of Earthquaker Designs pedals. Not to them, but to that's where they are. I'm just saying to that area. One of the songs off this album is called something to do with Ohio, I believe. I can't remember. Great, cool story, bro. I'm sorry I never learned valve electronics. I asked about it when I studied electronics at TAFE in the 90s, and they basically said it was a dead technology and they refused to teach it. That's why people say, why don't you get an apprentice? And I say, it's not that simple, because you can't just go and learn this shit anymore. You can learn electronics, but they always have a focus on communications and digital, which again, nothing to do with this shit. But there's also the fact that you can learn everything there is to know about electronics engineering and then still not know about the intricacies of these circuits, which were basically designed to be shit. And that's why they sound so good. Because if you designed it to be really good, it wouldn't distort. You'd have infinite headroom and no character. It'd be a bit of studio gear. So basically what you're dealing with is antiquated technology that is designed to be shit in a good way. How the fuck do you learn that from TAFE? That's the real frustrating thing when people say get an apprentice. It's like saying get an apprentice for fucking, I don't know. I can't think of an example. Get an apprentice for blacksmithing. It's like, is it even a trade anymore? Like, and then like if they're any good at it, what are they going to do? Like, if you've got half a brain, you wouldn't do these ridiculous fucking trades that we're in, because there's no future in them, really. I mean, there'll be a few weirdos like me kicking on and still making a go of it, but it's not really something you do if you're smart and want to make a living and support a family, and it's just for weirdos like me. Didn't you hear the hairy dude? I don't remember seeing your name much. But you must be an Aussie if you studied electronics at TAFE. What did you what field did you end up in? It's good shit. Oh, it's definitely good shit, but it's you've either got to teach yourself or start studying electronics and then teach the this sort of genre of it to yourself, you know. There's definitely a lot of value in doing an electronics course, a lot. But yeah, it won't teach you much about the intricacies of these silly things that we work on. I have been zapped before on tube amps. I'll leave it to a pro. Hey, you cop a bit of a shock every now and then if you're not paying attention, but the thing I've hurt the most working on amps is my pride more than anything physically. The worst one, I was almost going to give up the trade when I was working on a, I think it was a Ampeg, like a bass SVT head and I had a set of 6550s on the bench, and I sat them this way on the bench instead of that way, and they all, I went to grab my phone or something, they all fucking rolled off the bench and smashed on the ground, and they were all perfectly fine before that too. FETs are a lot like tubes in some ways. True. We quickly glossed over vacuum tubes in college. It was considered a dead format, so the instructor had 60 or 70. No, oh, yeah, right. So he's giving away the training manuals. Nice. Well, that's good. Riding the lightning will make you think twice about prodding around air. So it's pretty tempting to put him in the ultrasonic now, because I've only got 1 or 2 caps to install on them now, so I could just spot clean them with alcohol afterwards. But then I have to take them home and bake them, and it's sort of something you need to do when you know exactly what the next couple of hours are going to hold, rather than not knowing when I've got to leave. If I get halfway through them, I've got to clean and bake half of them, and it's too late. I'll do them on the weekend. I've got to get back to the home workshop over the weekend. I've got some overdue guitar jobs there. It's just hard to bring yourself to get out in the cold garage when you get home in the dark. Oh, that's about all I feel like doing today. It's been a pretty long day. Started at, what, 7? Currently a full-time guitar tech in Melbourne, worked in IT, live sound roadie, part-time user, maintaining PA and lighting. Well, there you go. Full-time guitar tech. What, are you just working independently, or are you working for a store? Had that 344, 3444 open, and my hands were into the power supply and the oscillator circuit. I was getting zapped a lot, but it was just lots of me cursing. Nothing too terrible inside of that one. You got zapped multiple times on the one device? That's when I think it's time to slow down, mate, and reassess your life decisions. Yeah, I had a 1981 Vox V125 head open and zapped myself. Whoops. V125, what's that? The Vox showroom. V125. Can you search? No. Oh yeah, lead and bass stacked. Work independently from home. Cool. 125 watts. There it is. In 1996. In 1966, things were beginning to slip backward at Vox. Vox in England dedicated itself to the development of the solid-state amplifiers and hoped to phase out their tube models. Thomas Org, if only they knew. Thomas Organ, the manufacturer of Vox amps sold in the US, had all but abandoned vacuum tube amps and encouraged JMI Vox to do the same. Okay, so this is a solid-state tutor, is it? Oh no. B1 Okay, so it used some transistors in the front end. Initial gain stage after the transistors, 2 ECC83 and 1 ECC82 and 1 ECC81 and a quartet of EL34s made up the tube complement. Must have a high plate voltage to get 125 watts out. Doesn't mention the plate voltage. That's nerd shit. So you kept one of those buggers running, did you? Cool. Ah. Oh, analytics. Nothing across the heart. No harm, no foul. Yeah. Was that independent? Was that intentional though? Nasally sounding transistors. Transistors aren't responsible for nasal sound. The nasal sound's due to the tone stacks and shit. What you find is the transistors just often used on really shittily designed preamp designs. Cap feels a bit loose, loosey-goosey. Thought I tightened them up already. Maybe not. They're getting silicon anyway, but I do like to have them seated hard against the board still. It's a real pain in the ass working on these boards now they're populated. They try and sit weird on the bench. Sweet as, bro. Yeah, you can have really nice sounding transistor amps. It's just so many of them are companies trying to save money. So it's like how PCBs get blamed. So many people online are like, oh, it's a piece of shit because it's got a circuit board. It's like, what the fuck do you know? For starters, the only reason you don't like circuit boards is because you've only heard it. Like, you're not a tech, so what the fuck do you know? But secondary, to say that circuit boards are cheap shit is just because amplifiers that were cheap shit had circuit boards, but it doesn't mean all circuit boards are cheap shit. That's like saying that car's got 4 wheels. That's shit. Because there are cars that exist that have 4 wheels that are shit. There's no logic there. It's not the fucking PCB that makes it shit. It's the fact that it's a shit amp that happens to have a PCB. But you can't tell these fuckers. The sound of transistors depends on the type of transistors. Some have a bright, nasally, even ice pick sound. Others are dark and warm. Knowing how to blend them together is a real trick. Oh, it's how they're implemented too, man. It's not like the transistor has a sound. If it breaks up, yeah, but what's the power supply like? What's the feedback circuit like? There's so many factors. You can't just say this sounds like this. It's there's too many factors at play for you to determine it. Glorified Wawa channel, yeah, 5 EQ channel, 5 EQ channel tone section on the V125. Yeah, it just said the frequency bands and stuff. Is it true that a transistor is typically on off and a valve is always somewhere between on and off? No, not at all. That's completely wrong. Valves go into cut off too. Or you can have a class A transistor amp, which is the transistor's always conducting. PCBs force all electrons to flatten. Yeah, it doesn't have the what was the Dumble thing, the crystal lattice. It's got the crystal lattice in the PCB. It's the electrons trying to squeeze through the crystal lattice. I think the one advantage the valves do have, and this is mainly to do with preamp distortion, and it is subtle, and it can be worked around with solid state stuff, is the island effect, where when because of the what's it called, the cloud of electrons, in a mental blank. Conduction, no. Trying to space charge. Fuck. Because of the space charge, when a transistor, when a valve clips, it does it a bit more gently. Like the edges of the waveform are a little bit more, a tiny bit more gentle, than a transistor just hitting a brick wall. So that's part of it. But if you just limit the frequency response, you can do that artificially anyway. It's not a massive thing, but there is a slightly different feel to that. But it's true how you bias them a couple of stages together for feedback loops, etc., and which types of topologies you implement and how and where they're implemented. Yeah, there's just so many factors, man. Heavy amps didn't bother me when I was young. Yeah, I can see that, but I've had a couple of guys in recently complaining about like their Princeton reverb being too heavy. It's like, maybe you should go to the gym. Tubes don't tubes don't have voltage modulated capacitance. Tubes don't have thermal distortion. That's coming from Terry. I guess not. I don't know how everything makes a difference, but yeah, I mean, I've heard really good sounding solid state amps at the end of the day. It's possible to make a really good sounding solid state amp. It's easy to add soft clipping in solid state design with diodes in the feedback loop. Diodes in the feedback loop. At the end of the day, everyone's going to modeling anyway, so what would you even call that? Would you even call that solid state? My ISO is changing. Come on, Michelle, where are you? Anyway, we'll change this into an impromptu Q&A, but I don't know shit, so I don't know how good that'd be. There is a book I've got to continue reading. I've had a quick glance over it, but it's a book all about distortion and overdrive and how all the different methods of doing it and different shortcomings and blah blah blah. I had I was gonna do a comparison but ran out of time. Had a Tone Master twin reverb. Why's that got so much solder on it? Fucking hell, you got to be switched on with other people making your boards, eh? You wouldn't get a spade connector on that. Look, I just saw that out of the corner of my eye then. See that big bulb of solder on the top there because it's been heated for too long? The solder's run down and pulled up on the end of the spade connector, so now you wouldn't be able to get the connector on it. It'd be too fat. How many of them have that? Seems to mainly be that plate one. Oh, I turned the temp down on that one, didn't I? Yep. Bigger the blob, the better the job. That's right. Another AVE watcher. Come on, hurry up. Jesus. Might have to get the wiki out on that. It's hard to find good help, champions. Better. Alright, I suppose I've got to inspect all of them now, eh? looking good, looking good. Can anyone really hear the difference in changing op amps? Just ask them, mate. Of course they can. It's a bit like the audio file thing, you know. None of them will sign up for a double blind test, eh? Look, some of them have certain characteristics, like really obvious stuff, like compensation, whatever, that would make a difference. But these guys are umming and ahhing about like different batch numbers and shit. It's like, fuck, man, come on. The bloody overdrive pedal. It's not a satellite. It's not a fucking Voyager space probe. Some op amps are noisy enough, that's true. Oh, shit. All the others are looking good. Don't know why she just sat on those plate connection ones longer than the rest. If you get decent flow through to the other side with those spade connectors, they're fucking stupid strong. Like, look at this. You can barely move the thing. If you try really hard, you can sort of bend it, but very can't speak. Very rigid. Rigid. Probably have to print out a little note and just say, look, just check that all these diodes and stuff are separated by a bit in case they get squashed in the shipping. Probably have to print that out on a bloody bit of paper and include it in the box. They got to get past to pull the thing out. For most op amps, 6. How you going, legend? For most op amps, it doesn't change shit. Certain topologies like the Rat rely on very slow slew rates for the LM308 OP07, which give them their specific harmonic content. Didn't they use LM741s in them? No, UA741s? U741s? Whatever the fucking very early ones were anyway. Oh, I'm looking forward to getting these tested and just chucking them in a box and forgetting about them for a while and just shipping them out as the orders come in. And then that way I won't be sick of them when it's time to start the next batch. Hopefully. Hopefully I'll have a bit of time. Sweet as, bro. I'm very pissed off that the logos were missing on this design. I don't know what happened there. I just sent off the same shit as usual, but I had a look at all my files and it's disappeared from all the other ones too. Nope, the Rat was LM308 from day dot. The 741 was in things like I'm probably thinking of the micro amp, yeah. Fuck, this song's good. I can't get over how good this song is. What do you know? Can't believe that's Mia Jovovich. She's got a wicked voice. Here's one right here, champions. This is the current version of the Rat. Out of the display case up the front. Rat. have a look. I think from memory they are built pretty much identical to how they always were. Brick shithouse steel, U-shape, massively overbuilt. Fucking big ka-chunk Allen key screw there for the battery. Pretty awesome. Do you have to undo that? I don't think you do. I have an op amp book with 739. Wow. Simply could not find anywhere. That would have been one of the old can op amps. The 4558 is an awful old op amp by modern standards, yeah. You find them, the JRCs and all that. Oh man, they just used a metal screw. That's a bit agricultural. Made exactly the same for 45 years. Bypass switching on them is genius. True bypass with a DP DT switch. Bro, you know what I pulled out the other day? Besides my dick. My first pedal I built. I think I've showed it to you on stream before. I was going to do a dedicated video on it. Joking around a bit, you know. I built that pedal when I was about 13. And it still works. Sort of. But it's got what they call the Millennium Bypass, which was a dual pole, dual throw switch for the FET that detected the pole not being used and turned the LED on and off with a FET. So you could have an LED with true bypass with a dual pole, dual throw switch. Fucking not a lot to them, eh? And that's got a OP07. Texas Instruments. And it's got those JKEC caps. That's one way of doing it. Pretty strong construction, really. You've got a lock nut, or a nut on the actual circuit board. The Millennium Bypass is the rat circuit. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, pretty sturdy because you've got the pots mechanically attached to the PCB as well as the chassis, but there's enough room there that it looks close, but there's like at least a 2mm gap between the wires there and the metal. It's on a bit of an angle there. They've got the washer under the nut on the foot switch there. They probably could have done away with that nylon washer, but it gives you a bit more space to the bottom of the board there. And I like this. A lot of manufacturers don't do that. They just let it float around until it touches something, but that's good. Oh, yeah, sort of good. It's not really going to stay on there, but if you don't use the power supply. Standard power supply too. It's annoying when these manufacturers run their own race in terms of what connector it is and stuff. Yeah. Old school. Look at the bloody battery holder. I've got like an M5 fucking screw on it. Crazy. Scotty, how you going, mate? Scotty B. Not Scotty K. Got a few Scotties around here. I'll put that aside for reassembly later. In the meantime, let's do something fun. Put that up there. Piss these boards off. Take it like a man. Can't believe I slept on Pucifer for so long. It's all I've been listening to for the last week, 2 weeks now. Love it. Never been a massive Tool fan, but I've always really liked Maynard's voice, obviously, but feels cool. But I don't know. I'm not. It's one of those things you've either got to be obsessed with or hate them for some reason. I like them, but I'm not obsessed with them. But Pucifer, I think I'm becoming obsessed with. Let's get the cranky Karen. Oh, actually, let's hit two birds with one stone, eh? Since I still haven't heard from my lovely wife. So here's that amp. Did that full rebuild on. And you may notice the he smashed a valve. So it had no rear cover on it. I said, do you want to put a grill on the back? And he said, it's mainly going to be in the studio. So I said, it's probably going to be alright then. But they decided they liked the sound of it, so they took it on the road. So when he was unloading it, as I mentioned before, it shifted and went to fall. So he went to grab it, and when he went to grab it, his hand went in and he basically punched the valve. And yeah, sort of cut his hand up. So what I'm going to do is just quickly chuck a new... He hasn't powered it up since, so there wouldn't be any issues with that. But what I'm going to do, those bear claws completely lost their spring. So this valve would still be okay. I'll set that aside and see if we can find a match to it. But I'll just put a new match pair in there. There's a pair in there. There you go, look. That's an anode. If you touch that when it's powered up, you cop the plate voltage, because that is the plate, my friends. There's the getter. So that's the metal they put. Oh, they put a plating on it and then they heat the fuck out of it. Because it's ring shaped. They heat it from outside the valve with a induction coil. It glows bright red and evaporates the metal that's on it. And then that metal condenses on the glass envelope. And that is the getter flash. That round thing's actually the getter. And the getter flash's job is to soak up the last of the gases in the valve. But when it tries to soak up the entire universe, it goes white. Could use that as the hard as fuck shot glass, couldn't we? So we'll have to clean up the glass. There's a bit of glass floating around. Not too bad. That one with the that crab amp with the foot switch pedal floating around inside that smashed up all the valves all the glass was in tiny fragments, whereas this is in pretty big chunks. So I'll still give it a vacuum. Oh, there's a bit over there too. Oh no, that's plastic or something. There's all sorts of shit floating around. They've only had it for a few weeks, Jesus. I'll take the chassis out because I can't really see on the other side of the transformers. So do you remember this amp? I did a video on it, I think. Did I? I don't know. They're all blending together. Ugh. Is that a 4mm? Nope. 5mm. What side of the plate gets hottest? Side facing the sun. $7:20 AM, yeah. I'm just streaming late tonight to hit the European viewers. And waiting for the missus to finish up at her netball awards night. I think that's what it was. When she talks about netball, I sort of just zone out a bit. Don't tell her that though. Hopefully she's been getting on the drinks with the girls, because then she'll be real funny when I pick her up. The one thing I don't think I did film on this, which occurred after doing the video, I believe, is putting the cover plates over the old calf holes. Bit of glass floating around there. I'll just give that a quick vacuum. Let's throw the glass out before I cut my hand open on it. Throw the valve in there as well. How did I miss glass? Gets everywhere, eh? Alright, so yeah, I cut some little cover plates out of aluminium. And sweet as, bro. Alright, new pair. L34. These are just freshly tested. JJ's L34L. Had them in the tester still, in fact. These bear claws are almost useless because they've got no spring to them. They're not spring steel, just mild steel, but they're riveted in too, so I don't feel like drilling rivets out and all that stuff for something that barely works anyway. I haven't banned LDRs over here yet, no. It's Europe. Alright, so you remember this cute little choocher? Biggest issue with it being the valves are so far away from the board, but we ran coax there to the sensitive shit, so it was fine. It's basically a 2204 with some Dirty Shirley-esque stuff to the feedback loops and 2.2Ks there on the screen grids. I think I put a 27K on the, 2.7K on the cold clipper, a little bit more saturation. And yeah, that was reusing the original turret board after depopulating, repopulating the whole thing, replacing all the turrets, you name it, and coming up with my own layout. So there you go. Now they've recorded an album with this since, and they fucking love it. And they've started. He wasn't going to tour with it, but they loved it on the album, so they said, "Fuck it, let's take it on the road." But we're gonna have to put a back cover on it or something. Yeah, it's silly, Scotty, eh? Rightio, so let's just bias those new valves in there now. Get my new beautiful Pomona leads on the Flukies out and angry. And bias it to about 55%, something like that. What's the main sitting at? It's probably pretty high. Yeah. At night it goes up around here, 245.6 volts, 245.6. So if we bias it, we could probably even bias it, to, yeah, to like 60% at that, because it's going to be a bit lower. We'll go 60, 55, whatever. Most of the overdrive out of this thing's coming from the preamp anyway. These Pomona leads are fantastic. I love them. Silicon, really nice IC clips on them. Chunky piggyback banana plugs. Not super safe though because they don't have the sheath, but you know, we're trained professionals. No, we're not. We're experienced professionals. Sorry, I'm just going to blow my nose. It's annoying me. I'm not even tired yet. That's worrying. Normally I'd be asleep by now. 43.4 ohm. I'll just go halfway between the two. 43.4. Where's my notepad? 43.4. Get my other Pomona leads. I really wish that instead of like fucking VPN companies and website building companies trying to give me sponsorships, I really wish I'd get sponsorships off test gear manufacturers like Pomona or Fluke. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But no. I only get fucking requests from companies like Wix. Do they even still exist or are they already gone under? First meeting of the day. Fuck, you sound important. It's alright, mate. Thanks for hanging out. I know it's a bit of a weird time. But it's to suit the Euroids. The Euroids. Alright, let's give it a Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Speaker, I mean. I've got a TubeMeister 36 over here, which I'll try and find time to do a video on. The power scaling is fucking up. Could be something to do with the FETs, could be something to do with the microcontroller or the sense circuitry, who knows. Need to pull a schematic out and familiarise myself with that whole setup again. That switch feels super chewy, I don't like that. Alright, we ready? After spending so much damn time with this amp rebuilding it, it's funny to have it back on the bench. About 80 watts, which sounds about right. 430, 431 on the actual plates. 425, 428. So that's gone down a bit as the valves must have still been warming up a bit. 426 it's settling on. 426. Right, So since we're drawing 80 watts from the wall, we're probably not far off what we want to be at. So we could probably take that voltage into account. So 25 watts at an EL34 multiplied by 0. We'll go 55%, 0.55 equals 13.75 watts. Divided by plate voltage of 426 means we're looking for 32.3 milliamps per side. Multiply that by 43.4 ohms per side, so we're looking for about 1.4 volts. So we're a little bit hot. Wrong way. Okay, it's jumping around a bit because my soldering station's still on. I'll just turn that off. Always forget about that. Much more stable now. A little bit of a mismatch, but not much. Where's the plate at now? So I'm drawing 70 watts from the wall now. Dropped off a bit. 433 on the actual plate. 431. 431. 1.4. Times 431. Divided by 25. 55.6%. Good enough for the girls I go out with. So now we've done that, champions. Let's have a listen. Is my interface plugged in? No, it's not. Just give us a sec. I'll sort that out. What are your thoughts on the TM36? Contemplating getting one over the TM18. I'd advise against it, just from a servicing point of view. Just get an orange, man. If you want something simple for that kind of configuration. Let's just have a listen to this thing. We got the mic up there. Let me just, someone was on my case for close miking everything, so let's try a maybe not close mic'd. Slightly off axis. And plug it in would help as well. SM57, the goat. Nice and quiet. Let's have a listen. All right, we've got signal there. I'll just mute my mic and we'll have a listen. Yeah, that was weird. I never have the noise suppression on the Motu. That was because remember the other week I plugged my headset mic straight in because my Rode went flat. The battery went dead, so I don't normally have noise suppression on the Motu. Sorry about that. Was that clipping at all? I'll turn off the compression. Hang on. I don't know where I'm sitting with the makeup gain and shit because that was set up for vocals. Try again. Hello? Hello? Yep. So what I'll do now is I've just set it sort of clean, and now I'll show you something funny. So just move the amp back a bit. Go back to the overhead view. And now we'll plug in something funny, which is that pedal I built when I was about 12, 13. It's got some issues, but I'm leaving it how it is for a video. It's the Dirt Box. This used to be my main overdrive when I had the Fender 75. It was my only amp. Let's get a power supply for it. I think I was unaware of the isolated. I was unaware of ground loops, and I was unaware of isolated jacks at the time, so I had to go for the negative negative shield, you know, the positive tip. But I was aware of switching the input jack power. Let's plug this into the front end of that amp with a sort of clean signal into the low gain input. All right, we have light. Yeah, like I said, it's got some issues. But I think that was a like a rip off of a, I don't know, it's like a generic overdrive. I seem to remember it might have been like a Voodoo Labs overdrive circuit or similar. I can't remember. But yeah, she's pretty thin sounding. So we can put that amp back in the cab now. But let's have a look at the guts of this thing. Now, I seem to remember that I might have etched a board for this. I don't think I used Vera board. What's upside down? Yeah, I think that pot's completely rooted. Yeah, I did an etch board for this. Alright, so I've used just whatever pots I had lying around. That's the Millennium Bypass board on the front, which is also etched. and that allows the use of a the pedal. The T is the tip. What? The top is the bottom. Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that you're supposed to build them that way up, but it had extra holes because it's an IP76. It's meant for outdoor. It's not one of the Hammond boxes, so it's got the holes for mounting to the wall and shit. So yeah, it wasn't designed to be a pedal box. It was before the Hammond ones became common to find out here. It was an old J car box or something. So yeah, it's got a dual pole, dual throw switch, but we've got full bypass, but also has the LED there, so that's one way of doing it. Shitty no-name sockets, which I probably just had in a bin, in a parts bin. Let's pry off that little circuit board there and just have a look at the bottom of it. If we can not break too many wires. Hey, look. Made a little etched circuit board for the Millennium bypass. Cool. That would have been just the Dalo pen. Old school. And stuck it to the lid with a bit of, that was an afterthought, I think. I did it after the fact when I wanted true bypass. Because I read in all the forums that was the bee's knees. You had to have true bypass. You can see I drilled the holes in the wrong spot and then I filled them with like plasti bond or putty or something. No one's the wiser from the outside. You can see the outline of the hole there. Funny as. Did you etch then paint sand the enclosure? I would have etch primed it, I believe. And then you had the two spray can kit, which you used to get from the hardware. So you had the red paint, which dried really slow, and then the black paint, which dried really quick. And then I believe I sprayed a varnish over the top of them once they had cured, but that's worn off since. I can't get to that PCB without cutting that wire, I think. Or I might just be able to squeeze it out. Here we go. Yeah, a little etched circuit board there too. Looks like I might have removed the cap there at some point. Probably, yeah, across the diodes. So that's probably why she sounds a bit harsh. Yeah, that's another little Dalo pen, and you can see the holes are all over the shop. So I would have used like a Dremel. Probably just hand drilled them. There's a little, that's a very old school. It's like a SMD cap, but inside a glass envelope. I remember seeing them heaps in the 90s, but haven't seen them since. Penny boy. See that? It's like a little multi-layer ceramic cap inside a glass envelope to make it an axial instead of a SMD cap. Yeah, I had like a bag of them. I don't know where they came from, but so that's compensation across the power rails there. Decoupling, sorry, not compensation. Yeah, so that oscillation you're hearing is probably because that pot's failing. It's losing contact. So it'll probably be alright with a clean. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just hang on to it for old time's sake. I'll clean that pot up and maybe put that cap that was removed back in. I'll have a look at the circuit if it is that Voodoo Labs overdrive thing. So there you go, champions. Blast from the past. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, I seem to remember that chassis was actually sandblasted. It had a real rough finish on it, which was nice actually. So that in combination with the paint job and the etch primer, it's probably why the paint hasn't chipped off. Rubicon. I would have just used whatever Dad had floating around. It would have been Literally whatever I could find in Dad's part drawer, because I used to raid his part drawer when I was that age, like 16 or whatever. Oh, not even. So that would have been when I was like, yeah, as I said, 12 or 13. But when I started getting 16, 17, I stopped raiding his parts cabinet and started raiding his fridge for his beers. And then it was all over. Good old Alpha Pots. Yeah, not so good Alpha Pots, but yeah. So what I might do is take this cabinet home with me and install some cleats on it so we can put something across the back. Now I'll take it with the chassis in there just because I want to check everything's in place. I'll give it a vacuum out. I think there's a few more bits of glass in there. All right. It's almost midnight, so I think it's time to call the missus and see what the fuck's going on. If you're not getting picked up in the next 10 minutes, guess what? You're getting an Uber home. Just remember, nothing is forever except epoxy. I hated those Alpha Pots. Yeah, they sucked, man, and they were everywhere, eh? All the hobby stores had them. They were everywhere. Bambi will just type something the exact opposite of what he meant to. It's alright, mate. I know what you mean. Tell it to the judge, buddy. Alright, you should be able to stand that up. Get it up that way. Actually see the screw holes then. Yep, beauty. Cosmo Pot's where it's at. Yeah, I've never heard of them either. Are they ex-Soviet or something? Cosmonaut? Japanese brand. Used in the OG SLOs. Are they like conductive plastic or something? Why won't you go in your home? You too good for your home? I got to get out of here, or the security company's going to call me again because I said midnight, didn't I? I've been trying to do a European stream, so we're almost there if I keep streaming until 2 AM. I don't know how I'm going to go at work tomorrow, though. Might be sleeping for past open time. What are the valve tone amps by the guy who used to run Bion? What? valve tone. So they're the ones built in the Like the cast aluminium chassis, yeah. Yeah, they're right. Hand wide. Pretty old school. Bit of a weird master volume in them. Post phase inverter with high voltage on the pot, which I'm not a big fan of. If that's what I'm thinking of. Alright, so I'll take that home and figure out some solution to protect those valves. I've got some mesh, I've got some ply, I've got some timber, I've got channel, I've got everything at home. I've got, you name it, it's like a hardware store. So I'm going to leave it here, champions, because I've got to get out of here and figure out where the fuck my wife is. So, thanks for joining us at this weird hour. Hope you enjoyed the late stream. I've seen quite a few Aussies here, which I didn't think I'd see. You bloody night owls, you. And a few Euro legends. A few Americans waking up. It's a good time zone for everyone except me. So yeah. Anyway, take it easy, legends. Catch you. I'll probably see you Saturday. So I'll see you then.